Maybe you like an old world style storybook garden, or possibly a whimsical garden, or maybe even a cottage garden like my neighbor has right here. Today we're going to be going to 3 different thrift stores to take a look at gardening fixtures and treasures that they have over there. Let's go ahead and check and see what they have over there for us. It's going to be so exciting. And my name is Marlene. If you've never been here before, welcome everyone to my home and garden channel. Now let's get going. So I had done a previous video showing you how to add instant curb appeal by giving you a tour of my neighbor's garden, and this was last season. Well, today we're going to be digging a little bit deeper to see some finds that we can use. So our first stop was America's thrift store. So we're going to go on in and see what they have. And this is the first thing that caught my eye. I thought this was the funniest thing. Oh my goodness. Sometimes I wet my plants. And if you get the joke, give me a thumbs up so I can know. Price for this was for $2.99, which I thought was pretty good. That's a good price. I should have taken that one and I did not. So, oops. Next, they had this large sign over here that says farmhouse, and this would be perfect maybe for a front porch or a back patio where you want to have that farmhouse style. And I like the font that they use on there, and it was maybe like about 4 feet across. So it was very, very large. It was going for $18.99, and I think that that was definitely worth it just to clean it off. There's nothing else that needs to be done. And here's another cute little one. Maybe if you have like a mud room or an area where you dry herbs or something like that, so this would be perfect for that. This was for $2.99. So I really liked the look of that one, and I think it would fit in very well in those areas mentioned. Over here, this is actually a wine basket, but it can be used to hold maybe like 4-inch containers for smaller plants, and I think it would look so fabulous. Of course, in this case, you may want to spray paint this one over because it is a little bit rusty, unless you're going for that very rustic look in your garden. Over here, I think cyclamen would be an excellent choice for this one because they don't grow very tall and they're kind of slow growing, so they would fit perfectly in there. And if needed, you can always repot them when they get a little larger. Over here, there are some more fixtures right here. That one says home. That one would definitely need to be spray painted over. And over here, I like the one towards the back. I think it's really nice. And this one can, be out in the, where the rain falls. It's going to be able to take it. And you can see how much this one was going for. It was for $7.99. And I think it is perfect. This one over here would be maybe good for your back patio or even your front porch. It was pretty wide, maybe about 4 feet across as well. And this one was going for $7.99. And I would definitely want to spray paint this one over in a really nice color. This one, I wouldn't do anything to it. I think it's just absolutely wonderful. It brings that rustic old world charm if that's what you're going for. And it's absolutely wonderful. You can see how much this one was going for. And I think it's worth it. Over here now we have some oars. And you can style these in different ways. You can maybe put screws in there to hang like smaller pots on, or just, display them off to the side. And I know the Glade Garden Girl that she would definitely be able to find perfect use for that. And I saw this matching painting. I thought I'd show this to you as well. Maybe they could go together, like on a back patio. I think it is absolutely beautiful, and I did want to show that to you. Our next up was this little area we visited in the outskirts of Atlanta, mostly Mutt's Marketplace. And they do, they save pets. They help to raise funds for adoptions, to save them. So I think that is definitely a worthy cause. And I did see this wonderful fence right here. Another one I probably should have taken because you can see that it looks very, very sturdy. Felt really strong. I wouldn't change the color or anything. I think it's perfect. And you can see how much it was going for. 2 of those would be really nice to put in front of your garden or somewhere like that. Here, this was lots and lots of baskets. And I think this is wonderful. As far as your eyes could see, there were baskets. And like this one here, it looks like it's already sealed, which is good because it's going to help to protect it. And of course, you can always get baskets that you can protect yourself, like I did with this birdhouse that I got at Walmart last season. It's just solid wood. So I went in and I got the clear spray paint and just sprayed it over. And you want to sure to do this on a day that is sunny and dry, and just coat it after it dries with a second coat at least. Over here, this one is covered with white paint. And I think it's very, very stylish. I absolutely love it. I think it's really, really beautiful. And you can take a look and see how much it's going for there, which I think is a pretty good price. So I really like that one. And guys, you can actually use these baskets as planters. You would just want to put maybe like, like maybe a black trash bag in it and just stick some holes in it, put your soil in, put your plants. And I think that it would be perfect. And I absolutely love this one here. I just love the pattern and I think it's gorgeous. You can tell me what you think about this one or any other ones that you have seen at this point. And again, flowers that are kind of, lower growing and that spread out would be perfect. This is Kalanchoe right here. And it gives it that nice, dainty, old world look, which I like, very cottage garden-like. And it would be perfect for your porch because it does say part shade, part sun. And so if you're wanting me to do a future video on that, I most likely will try to do so for my summer porch refresh. I hope I get the chance to do it for you if that's what you would like to see. And also ivy right here. So let's say you're not wanting to go for color, you just want to keep it kind of simple. Then you can do something like this variegated ivy right here. These are pretty readily available in your garden center and they will flow off to the side. You can maybe even wrap some of them around the handle to give it that nice look. So I think that would be perfect for that as well. And I just wanted to take a moment to invite you to subscribe to my channel if you have never done so before and to hit the notification bell twice so you never miss an upload. You can follow along with my garden topics, tips, and tours, and I love exchanging ideas with fellow gardeners. It's absolutely wonderful. And I also like to encourage new gardeners that are coming along as well. And over here, there were lots more baskets as well. You can see them right here. And I think they're just so stylish. And if you wanted to maybe say use them to, like for harvesting your crops, just make sure that you wash them off with, like soap, nice soapy solution, not too concentrated. And, rinse them off. Or maybe you can use like vinegar and water, a dilute solution. If there's any mold, it will get rid of those. And then make sure that you air dry them. And then they should be perfectly fine for you to use for harvesting. Here, this is a nice little fixture that they had right here. You can see how much that was going for. This would not be to plant flowers because it's a little bit too narrow, so I don't think it would work for them. But it could just be a fixture like this little guy right here in my neighbor's garden. Just put it in there to add a touch of, whimsy or fancy to it, and I think that's perfect. Here now they had this hanging basket. And you can see how much this was going for. I thought it was a little bit high because it's just a basket alone. But you can tell me what you think about that one. This one was a little bit more reasonable. This is a planter right here, but it doesn't have any holes in the bottom. So you would need to put holes in there. This one, on the other hand, did have a hole in the bottom. And it's a reasonable size. So I think that would be really cute to put some, smaller type flowers in there. This one's a little bit larger, but this one also needed to have some holes in the bottom as well. And again, you can see the price right there. You just be careful when you're putting the holes in these plastics. But this could definitely take the drill, the drilling that would be needed for it. Now over here they had some, these are like blowers, the leaf blowers, but I don't know, guys. For electronics, I'm always a little bit, not too sure about getting those, in, like secondhand stores or charity stores as they call them in other places because you have to be sure it's going to work. So if I can't test it out, I'm not going to get it. And that one says it needs to be charged. So moving on to the next one, and that would be to the Goodwill store. First thing that caught my eye was this piece right here. It just looks so old world, almost like a romantic charm to it, and I absolutely love it. And I would take this one. And it's made of wood. It's not compressed wood, so this can take water, outdoors. You can always spray paint it over, with a clear if you want to shore it up a little bit. You can see $5.09 is the one that was going for. And over here, I absolutely love this chair. This would be perfect to add in a spot in your garden where you can just sit and relax, take a breather as you're doing your gardening, maybe under a little shady tree, or perhaps you could put plants on it, just to give a nice appeal to your garden. So I love it. And you can see how much it was going for, $9.99. And then over here, now they had this set of chairs, and I love them. I think this would be perfect for like a front porch, whether you're using two of them, or maybe you could just put one on one side of your door. You put some nice pillows if you're using more than one, or just one with one pillow and some other plants on the other side. And I think that would be perfect. Over here, these were looking a little bit rough, but I thought the price was pretty reasonable. So if you're really good at, like flipping these things, you can just go ahead and sand it down, and then you can stain it over, or you can paint it in the color that you like. And that pink one there, it could be left for a more rustic look, or if you want, you can always go in and sand it down and then, paint it over again. So there are many different options available. So guys, let's take a look to see what I got. So first, we have a hummingbird feeder right here. Let me get my glasses so I can take a look at everything that's going on here. So this right here, you can see it's a little bit tough plastic, so it's more sturdy than the dollar store ones that you would typically buy, and it's going to hold up a lot longer. I have a fancier one coming, but for right now, this is going to do. It has a yellow tag on there, so always look for what your discounts mean, what percentage that is. I think this one was 30%. I forgot, but they told me at the checkout. But either way, it was for $2.95 originally, and then it got marked down. So that I thought that was really good. And then I got these two hanging baskets right here. You can see they have the frame, they have the coir, and they also have the hooks on there, which is great. And these were actually blue. Blue is usually more, 40 to 50% off, depending on the season that you're in. So you're basically getting the price of 2 for 1, which is absolutely awesome. So I thought that was great. And I just wanted to talk about my flowers a little bit. You know, these were given to me, the roses by my family for Mother's Day, and this one by my neighbor, which I thought was so, so nice and unexpected. So guys, flowers say a whole lot, and that's why I encourage people to grow flowers and, you know, just give to others and lift their mood. It really helps to make their day. So let's go ahead and take a further look into the video. So depending on what your style and what you're wanting to do, you can leave them just as they are in that rustic form. Or if you like, you can go ahead and you can spray paint them. What I will say though is that if you're going for whimsy, of course, you can use lots of different colors. But if you want to keep it a little bit more like a country style garden, you know, or cottage style garden, I would say don't put too many different colors in there. Of course, it's your decision, but that's just what I would say, you know, as options for you. Just, you know, the more colorful, the more it seems like it's more playful and more whimsical as opposed to being a little bit more formal. So it just depends. And of course, for your baskets, try to avoid the ones that are, you know, brittle, the ones that are, you know, very kind of thin, because those tend to fall apart very easily and you want them to hold up. You want them to work for you. So just look out for those. The sturdier they are, the better they will be for you. You can use them as they are, or you can just, you know, spray paint them over as well. And I do want to take a moment to say an extra special thanks to those who give extra support to my channel, whether it's by sharing my videos, showing up for each of them that I put out, or getting merchandise from the little icon that says shop that shows you the different things that I have to offer there. It really means a lot to me and my family. Now, just to say with these baskets, when you are getting those, and this is bonus number 1, when you're getting them, if you're going to be using them for harvesting, I would recommend washing them with a light solution, you know, like a little, maybe a Dawn or something like that solution. Just washing them off, rinsing them, and then just putting them to dry out in the sun. If you're concerned that it may have mold or something like that, you can go in and just use a vinegar and water solution, and that will help to take care of that. And of course, you do the same thing again, put them out to dry. And now for the additional bonus point, which is when you're going to these places, whether it be like thrift stores, yard sales, or anything like that, estate sales, you really want to go first thing in the morning. If it's, you know, informal. If it's a case where it's at a store, try to get there, you know, shortly after they open, maybe within half an hour to an hour afterwards, so you can get the best pick of what they have there. The longer you wait, the less you're gonna find, because that has happened to me before. And I thought, wow, there's nothing in here. But then if you go early, you'll see that they have a lot more things. So just something to bear in mind. So I hope that this was helpful to you in some way. Be sure to give me a thumbs up on the way out and check out my additional videos. Thank you so much for watching. Happy gardening, happy spring, happy summer. And I do hope to see you in the next video. Take care.